I will check
Good
later.
afternoon,
Good
teacher.
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon, Sammy. Okay, children, our lesson for today is simplifying fractions. So we're going to need your Math 4B book. Math 4B book. In our topic is on page, just a moment. Our topic was on page 78 to 80. 78 to 80. Let me see, the page 78. Oh, okay. A fraction for which there is no other cardinal number except 1 can divide into both the numerator. Okay, so children, did you understand our lesson last time for math? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yay? Okay. Good, good, good. Okay, so we have to wait for the others to join us. We have to wait more time. Okay, just a moment, please.
Kamu di
Okay, so again, good afternoon, everybody. Maybe we cannot, we're just going,
teacher.
so maybe we're just going to play the video while I am discussing and then while waiting for the others, okay? But then I will just going to check your attendance so that I will not going to check your attendance for the second time later. Okay, so number one, say present if you're here. And if no one is answering, it means that number is absent or that student is absent. Number two, number three,
Present.
number four,
Present.
number five, number six, number seven. It's okay, Tile.
Present.
Number eight, number nine, number 10, number 11, number 12, number 13, number 14,
Present.
number 15,
Present.
number 16,
Present.
number 17, number 18, number 19,
Present.
number 20, number 21, 22,
Present.
23,
Present.
24,
Present.
25, 26, 27,
Present.
28, 29,
Present.
30, 31,
Present.
32,
Present.
33, present, 34,
Teacher, 33, told you, 34 me.
okay, 35,
Present.
36,
Present.
37, yeah, 37,
Present.
okay, so just a moment, absent, I will just going to call those absent, number 1, number 2, ยังไม่มาใช่ไหม number 8, number 9, number 10, Josh, are you here already? Number 11, number 12, number 13, absent. Number 17, 18, 19, 20, absent. 22, 23, absent. 26, absent. 30, okay, that's it. Oh, anybody else wants to say present, children? Okay, so children, our lesson for today is about simplifying fractions. But then, before I'm going to discuss, I will just going to play this video again. Anyway, our class will always start with a video clip, a short video clip, okay? So we're just going to play this video. Listen carefully. This
2
is
by
about our
3.
lesson.
All fractions have a very special property. If we multiply Look at the fraction 2 by 3. All fractions have a very special property. If we multiply the numerator and the denominator of a fraction by the same number, the value of the fraction remains unchanged. Let's say we multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. 2 times 2 is 4 and 3 times 2 is 6. So this will equal 4 by 6. These two fractions have the same value. Or we can also multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3 to get 6 by 9. All these three fractions will have the same value. If we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same value, the fraction's value remains unchanged. Now by intuition, we should also derive another special property of fractions. What do we get if we divide 6 and 9 by 3? Yes, 2 by 3. It tells us that even if we divide the numerator and the denominator by the same value, the fraction remains unchanged. Let's look at an example. Consider the fraction 12 by 18. We can divide the numerator as well as the denominator by 6. The numerator will be 12 by 6 and the denominator will be 18 by 6. 12 by 6 is 2 and 18 by 6 is 3. 12 by 18 and 2 by 3 are the same. And this 2 by 3 here is called the simplest form. It means that this fraction cannot be reduced further. That's cool, but how did we know what number we are supposed to divide them by? The number 6 is in fact the highest common factor of the numerator and the denominator. If we divide
I don't know what's happening. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to have one more time. Just a moment, children. I will just going to stop sharing and then I will come back with you again. Just a moment, please. One more time, children. Can you see my screen now? Okay.
fraction remains unchanged. Let's look at an example. Consider the fraction 12 by 18. We can divide the numerator as well as the denominator by 6. The numerator will be 12 by 6 and the denominator will be 18 by 6. 12 by 6 is 2 and 18 by 6 is 3. 12 by 18 and 2 by 3 are the same. And this 2 by 3 here is called the simplest form. It means that this fraction cannot be reduced further. That's cool, but how did we know what number we are supposed to divide them by? The number 6 is in fact the highest common factor of the numerator and the denominator. If we divide the numerator as well as the denominator by their HCF, we get the simplest form. Say we have a fraction 30 by 50, and let's assume that you do not know what their HCF is. If we do not know the HCF, all we need to do is look at the common factors of the numerator and the denominator. 30 as well as 50 are divisible by 2. So we divide the numerator as well as the denominator by 2. 2 is 25. If there are no common factors of the numerator
5.
and the denominator, it means that the answer is in the standard form. But 15 and 25 both have 5 as their common factor, which tells us that this is not the simplest form. We divide the numerator as well as the denominator by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3 and 25 divided by 5 is 5. The numbers 3 and 5 do not have any common factors apart from 1. This is the simplest form or the standard form of the fraction 30 by 50. The product of the numbers we divided the numerators and denominators by.
Okay, children. Can you see the highest common factor of 30 and 50 aside from 2 and 5? What else? They have the common factor, highest common factor, children. Aside from 2, that you can, of course, 2 times what? So that you can get 30. 2 times 15 is equal to 30. 2 times, no way. Wait. That would be 25. 2 times 25 is equal to 50. Aside from 2 and 5, children, what else do they have in common? Common factor, 30 and 50. What do you think, children? Anybody? I'm going to give you plus 5 points. Anybody? I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think about it. Anybody? 2 minutes. Oi, I'm going to give you plus 5 points. Anybody, children? No one wants to answer? Aside from 2 and 5, is there any highest common factor of 30 and 50 that if you're going to they have in common? Aside from 2, 2 times 5 is 15 is equal to 30. 2 times 25 is equal to 50. 5 times 3 is equal to 15. That would be, they simplified this one. So what are you going to multiply to 3 and 5 so that you can get 30 and 50? Aside from 2 and 5, you can use 10. 30 divided by 10 is equal to 3. 50 divided by 10 is equal to 5. That's the most easiest way to get it, rather than
Will be
using
the
2 methods.
HCF. Here, 2 times 5, which equals 10, is the HCF of 30 and 50. It is always recommended that you first find the HCF and then divide the numerator and the denominator by it just once, instead of performing division many times. This is also called the simplification of fractions, as we
Okay, so one more time, children. We're going to replay again that video, and then I'm going to speak while it's playing. Stop, speak. Okay, I'm going to let it pause, and then I'm going to speak. Just a moment. There you go. Did you understand the video that has played? Yes or no? Yes or no, children? Cloud. Nah.
A little.
Did you understand the video? Yes or no?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, so just a moment. Just a moment, children. I think I need to have the PowerPoint again later. Okay, just a moment, please.
The fraction 2 by 3. All fractions have a very special property. If we multiply the numerator and the denominator of a fraction by the same number, the value of the numerator and the denominator by 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times these two fractions have the same value. Or we can also multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3 to get 6 by 9. All these three fractions will have the same value. If we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same value, the fraction's value remains unchanged. Now, by intuition, we should also derive another special property of fractions. What do we get if we divide 6 and 9 by 3? Yes, 2 by 3. It tells us and the denominator by the same value, the fraction remains unchanged.
Okay, we're going to go back to the introduction of how are you going to simplify fraction, because this one was just a little bit, this one was just an activity of how are you going to simplify. No simplifying fraction. Okay, there you go. We're going to have this one. Maybe it would be easier to understand if this one, let me see. There you go. Here's it.
In a previous video, we learned all about factoring whole numbers. And now we're going to learn how factoring can help us when working with fractions. We're going to learn how to simplify a fraction.
Okay.
Simplifying a fraction, rewriting the fraction using the smallest top and bottom numbers we can without finding a fraction really means. Let's take a look at the simplest fraction I can think of, 1 over 2. Now, this is already as simple as it can possibly be, so let's go the other way and complicate it by dividing our rectangle here up into more parts.
Friendship.
Okay.
The amount of our rectangle that's shaded is still the same, but now the numbers for our fraction are 3 over 6. The numbers are bigger because our rectangle is now divided into more parts. The fraction we have now, 3 over 6, is equivalent to our original fraction, 1 over 2. That means they have the same value. They represent the same amount. So what if someone gives you the fraction 3 over 6, like 3/6 of a candy bar? Well, we know from our picture that that means they're really giving you 1/2. But how can we show that using math and not pictures? Well, that's where factoring comes in. Let's take our complicated fraction, 3 over 6, and factor both the top and bottom numbers. Now, the bottom number 6 can be factored into 2 times 3. The top number, 3, is a prime number. Its only factors are 1 and itself. So we can write that as 1 times 3. There, we've rewritten our fraction using factoring, and now it kind of looks like two fractions being multiplied together. 1 over 2 times 3 over 3. Of course, 3 over 3 is what I like to call a whole fraction, since its value is equal to 1. Now here's the interesting part. Since 3 over 3 equals 1, and multiplying by 1 has no effect on a
Okay,
number,
so we're
we
going
can
to
just
go
get
back
rid of
to
that
where
3
is
over
it? Just a
2
moment,
times
children.
3.
Okay,
Rectangle that
1 over
shaded
2.
is still the same. But now the numbers for our fraction are 3 over 6. The numbers are bigger because our rectangle is now divided into more parts. The fraction we have now, 3 over 6, is equivalent to our original fraction, 1 over 2. That means they have the same value. They represent the same amount. So what if someone gives you the fraction 3 over 6, like 3/6 of a candy bar? Well, we know from our picture that that means they're really giving you 1/2. But how can we show that using math and not pictures? Well, that's where factoring comes in. Let's take our complicated fraction, 3 over 6, and factor both the top and bottom numbers. Now, the bottom number 6 can be factored into 2 times 3. The top number, 3, is a prime number. Its only factors are 1 and itself. So we can write that as 1 times 3. There, we've
Okay, so children, so we have here the common factor of 3 and 6. What's the common factor of 3 and 6, children? Because we have learned the last time in getting the, what was the lesson that we have last time? Not simplifying fraction. Last time we had the comparing of fractions, right? So we have learned the lowest common denominator, LCD, last time, right? So how are you going to get the LCD? You're going to use multiplication, and then you're going to pick the less common denominator of those numbers. For example, we have, what do we have last time, children? 3 and 9. For example, we have 3 and 9. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 2, 6. So what we have? Okay, how about 9? What is the less common denominator of 3 and 9? Anybody? Number 3 and number 9. What is the less common denominator of 3 and 9?
3.
3, are you
3.
sure? Less common denominator of 3 and 9. 9 times 1, 9. 9 times 2, 18. And then we're going to have 3. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 3, 3 times 4, 12. So what is the less common denominator of 9? What is the less common denominator between 9 and 3? 3, are you sure?
4.
No. 4. How can it be, children? 3 and 9. Any other guess? Aside from 3, you cannot get 3 from 9. 9 times 1 is always starts with 9. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. While 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. What is the less common denominator, children, between 9 and 3? Anybody? Plus 5 points. I think you forgot. Anybody? Wait. Just a moment. Where was my PowerPoint last time that I have shown you? You've forgotten already, children. Nah. Where's my PowerPoint? Just a moment. Where are you? I cannot find it. What is the less common denominator of 3 and 9? 9. Okay, so children, we're going to have this one. Okay,
We've
so what
rewritten
are
our
you?
fraction using factoring, and now it kind of looks like two fractions being multiplied together. 1 over 2 times 3 over 3. Of course, 3 over 3 is what I like to call a whole fraction.
Friendship.
Friendship. Friendship.
Fraction, since its value is equal to 1. Now here's the interesting part. Since 3 over 3 equals 1, and multiplying by 1 has no effect on a number, we can just get rid of that 3 over 3. Basically, the 3 on the top and the 3 on the bottom cancel each other out. And once they're gone, we're left with the fraction 1 over 2. So that means that the fraction 3 over 6 simplifies to 1 over 2. Another way of thinking about it is that we're trying to find any whole fractions that are hiding in the fraction we're trying to simplify. And if we find any, we can just get rid of them, and the fraction we're left with is simpler than the one we started with. Now that we know the basics, let's learn the procedure for simplifying fractions. First, replace the top and bottom numbers of the fraction with their prime factors. Next, look to see if any of the factors are the same on the top and bottom. If they are, then we call them common factors because there's something that both the top and bottom have in common. If you find a pair of common factors, you can cancel them out. Just draw a line through them, like this. And last, once all the common factors have been canceled, you need to remultiply any factors that are left over on the top or bottom. This makes sure that you end up with only one number on the top and bottom of your simplified fraction. Oh, and there's one important thing to remember. If you're ever able to cancel out all of the factors on the top or bottom of a fraction, don't be tempted to write in a 0. Put a 1 in there instead. The reason you can write in a 1 is because 1 is always a factor of any number. It's just we usually don't write it in. For instance, if you're going to factor the number 15.
Okay, so let me see. What is the common factor of 6 and 9, children? 6 and 9. Anybody? Common factor of 6 and 9. Let me see if you know. 6 and 9, children. What is the common factor of 6 and 9? Anybody? Sophia, what's the common factor of 6 and 9? We're going to have common factor first.
Maybe 3.
3. Very good. Okay. How about 9 and 15? 9 and 15. 9 and 15. What is the common factor?
Maybe 3.
3. How about 15 and 20? Anybody? How about 15 and 20? 15 and 20?
5.
5. Great job. Okay, so they have common 5. Okay. How about let me see 4 in 14. 4 in 14. What do they have in common? 4 in 14, children. Four in 14. Four in 14.
2.
2. How about 12 in 18? 12 in 18.
6.
6. Great job. How about 5 and 10? 5 and 10 it cannot be. Okay. How about 10? I am done with 10 and 15, right? 16 and 24. 16 and 24. 16 and 24. Okay. So let me see. We're going to have first the highest common factor lesson. Okay. Introduction of highest common factor so that you can understand what we've been telling. Okay, Sophia, very good. With your answers, you're right. Let me see first for this one so that you can understand.
Today, let us learn about the highest common factor, also called HCF. We have already studied factors. Now, let us understand the meaning of the term common factor. If two or more numbers have the same numbers as their factors, those factors are called common factors. Now, let us see what do we mean by the highest common factor. To understand it in a better way, let us solve an example. Find the HCF of 15 and 25. We will follow a three-step process to find the highest common factor. Step 1. Find all the factors of the given numbers. Here, the pairs of factors of number
Okay,
15.
so we have here, we're going to find the factor of 15 and 25. Okay, first we're going to have first 15. We're going to see the factors of 15 first. Okay, next.
Are 1 into 15 is equal to 15.
Okay, so what are you going to, it means common factor, right? So what are you going to multiply to 15 so that the answer would be 15 also? So we have 1 times 15 is equal to 15. What else, children? That you, if you're going, what number are you going to multiply? Two numbers if you're going to multiply. My goodness. What number are you going to multiply so that the product would be 15? We need two numbers. Aside from 1 and 15, what else?
5 and 3.
5 and 3. Let's see if your answer is correct.
3 into 5
Okay,
is
great job.
equal to 15. Thus, the factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5.
Okay, so we have here 1. So the factor of 5 is 1, 3, 5, and 15. 1, 3, 5, and 15. So you're going to 1 times 50. 1 times 15 is equal to 15. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. So those are the factors of 15. Next, we're going to move on.
Next are the pairs of factors of the number 25.
25.
1 into 25 is equal to 25. 5
Okay, so we have 1 times 25 or 1 multiplied by 25. The answer or the product would be 25. What else? What number? What are we going to multiply to that number so that the product would be 25? What two numbers are we going to multiply so that the product would be 25? Aside from 1 multiplied by 25 is equal to 25. What else, children?
5.
5.
5.
5 times?
5.
Okay, 5 times 5. Let me see.
into 5 is equal to 25. Thus, the factors of 25 are 1, 5,
5,
and 25.
25. Okay, so we already have the factors 1, 5, and 25. So what factors does 15 and 25? What are you going to multiply in them that they have the highest common factor in here? What highest common factor do they have in common, children? We have the factors 1, 3, 5, 15 for the 15. And then 25, 1, 5, and 25. Okay, we're going to continue so that you can get...
Step 2. Identify the common factors of the given numbers.
Okay, what factors do they have in common? These are the factors. These are the factors of these two numbers. For 15, we have 1, 3, 5, 15. Next, 1, 5, 25. Okay, what do they have in common, children? What
1
number?
and 5.
What do they have in common?
1 and 5.
1 and 5. Okay, so we have 1 and 5. So just a moment.
Here, the common factors of numbers 15 and 25 are 1, 5. Step 3. The largest of the common factors is
Okay,
the
so
HCF.
we are telling we're going to get the highest. Highest means the largest, the greatest common factor, children. So we have 1 and 5. So 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. So what is the highest common factor of those two numbers? Anybody? What's the highest common factor of these two numbers? If we have 1 and 5.
The,
Huh?
Of
the highest number
given
is
numbers.
5.
Very good, Sophia.
Here, the largest
Okay, now we're going to move on.
of the common factors is 5. Thus, the highest common factor is 5. Hence, we define the highest common factor as the largest common factor that two or more numbers have. Now, let us solve one more example. Find
Okay, one
the
more example.
HCF of 6, 12, and 18.
What do you think? 6, 12, and 18. 18. What do they have in common, children? What do they have in common?
Maybe 6.
6? You sure? Okay, let's see.
Here, the pairs of factors of number 6 are 1 into 6
1 into
is
6?
equal to 6.
6.
2
What else?
into
2
3
into 3
is equal
is equal
to
to
6.
6.
Thus, the factors of 6 are
1,
1, 2,
2, 3, and 6.
and 6. The pairs of factors of the number 12
Well,
are 1 into 12 is equal to 12. 2 into 6 is equal to 12. 3 into 4 is equal to 12. Thus, the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. The pairs
okay. So we have here factors, numbers that if we're going to multiply with each other, the answer would be 12. 12. 1 multiplied by 12 is equal to 12. 2 multiplied by 6 is equal to 12. And 3 multiplied by 4 is equal to 12. So we're going to arrange them from highest to lowest. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Okay, children, that's where you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Okay, teacher, where did the factors came from? They came from here. Okay, the numbers that you're going to use so that the answer would be 12. So if you're going to multiply this one, 1 by 12 is equal to 12. 2 multiplied by 6 is equal to 12. 3 multiplied by 4 is equal to 12. This one, 1 multiplied by 6 is equal to 6. 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6. That's how you got the factor. Do you understand, children? Can you follow? Yes or no? Loud. Okay. Now we're going to move on with 18.
factors of the number 18 are 1 into 18 is equal to 18. 2 into 9 is equal to 18. 3 into 6 is equal to 18. Thus, the factors of 18 are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18.
Okay, so where did we get 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18? We got here 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. So if we're going to multiply 1 times 18 is equal to 18. 2 times 3 is 2 times 9 is equal to 18. 3 times 6 is equal to 18. Now, what do they have? What common factors do they have? Okay. Now we're going to move on in this column.
Here, the common factors of numbers 6, 12, and 18 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Here, the
Where did we get
largest
the
of
1? Where did we get 1? We got here 1, 1, 1. You see? 2, 2, 2. That's why common. They have all the three numbers. They have common factors in here. Okay? We have 3, 3, 3. 6, 6, 6. Okay, so that is where we get 1, 2, 3, and 6 children. That is the common factor. Next, we're going to move on.
common factor is 6.
Okay,
Thus-
now we're going to get the highest. It means the highest, the greatest. Okay, so we got 6 children. We got 6 in here. That is the highest. 1 is the lowest. Do you understand? Can you get now? Can you understand now, children?
Yes.
Okay, now let's see if your answer is correct.
HCF is 6. Did you notice that one particular number is a common factor for all the numbers? Do you know which number is that? Yes, 1 is a common factor of all the numbers.
Okay, it says in here,
Wasn't
children,
it easy?
that 1, all numbers from 1 until any number that you like, they have common factor in that is 1. Every numbers, that's all numbers, children. Okay, now can you get what highest common factor means, children? Can you get what highest common factor means, children? Yes or no? Hello?
It's the highest number that you can divide.
From in simplifying fraction, right? But now, so we're going to move on with simplifying fraction, right? We're going to have the simplifying fraction, simplifying of fractions. Okay, so just a moment. Simplifying fractions. We're going to go back from where we've been a while ago. Now here we go. Okay, now here we go. I'm coming in. Okay. Pizza. Can you see my screen now? The chat? Okay, there you go.
Today on Math is Fun, let's enjoy learning about
Simplifying fractions. Let's get some pizza.
Okay, so I already told you before that the best example of taking fractions, if you're going to have this one as a whole, is the pizza. So always pizza, so that you can divide it properly.
Here are 4/8 of a pizza, and 2/4 and a half. Why say 4/8 when you really mean half? Simplifying or reducing fractions means to make the fraction as simple as possible. The highest number that can divide into both numbers exactly.
Okay, so this is what Sophia told me a while ago. The highest common factor. So now do you understand what highest common factor means? And then someone told me that the highest number that can be divided into both numbers exactly. And she's right. Okay, now here we go.
How do I simplify a fraction? There are two ways to simplify a fraction. Method 1. Try dividing both the top and bottom of the fraction until you can't go any further. Try dividing by 2, 3, 5, 7, etc. Example.
Okay, so there are many ways of how are you going to simplify the fraction aside from getting the highest common factor. Okay, so what's the highest common factor of 7 and 14, children? What's the highest common factor of 7 and 14? Anybody?
7.
7.